Now that we're in the heart of fall, it's getting pretty chilly around here. And the cooler it gets at the surface, the more important it becomes for me to start looking up there. We're going vertical in this week's Heather's Weather Wise. Every day when I make my forecast, I look at temperatures all over western New York at the surface and about 5,000 feet up above our heads too. But how are those numbers available? It's not like there's some network of thermometers up there, or is there? Twice every single day, forecasters at 92 National Weather Service sites launch weather balloons with radiosondes attached. The radiosondes take constant measurement of temperature, pressure, wind, and relative humidity on the way up to about 10 miles. That's a bottom-up approach. Satellites can look from top down using microwave and infrared radiation. Here's how that looks on a graphic when all of that data is stitched together. So now that the data is there, how do we use it? It's really just a piece in the puzzle that is weather forecasting. Temperatures at 5,000 feet are really important to consider even on a sunny autumn day. That's because the energy that's coming in from the sun is now a lot weaker. If there's a ton of cold air sitting high up in the atmosphere, that weak solar energy isn't enough to keep up with the cold air overhead. Another thing to consider, nighttime lows. Over this past weekend, a lot of us had a frost, and that's because the overnight sky was clear. When that happens, the energy that builds up during the day is able to escape the surface and go out into space. Now in exchange, the colder air from high up in the atmosphere sinks down to the ground. Some of you are going to love me for this next one, and some of you might be tempted to throw something at your screen. Cold air high up in the atmosphere is important to look at when it comes to snowfall forecasting as well. Have you ever wondered how it can snow when it's 37, 38, maybe even 39 degrees? The short answer? There's a lot of cold air higher up than where we are. Snow that forms up in the clouds falls too fast for it to melt, and it ends up reaching the ground, although not always sticking. Weather model watchers know to start looking for this freezing line at about 5,000 feet around this time of the year. It's creeping closer, and so is winter. That's it for this week's episode of Heather's Weather Wise. I'll see you next week with a new topic. But until then, remember, it's good to be a geek.